Welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani, and in this lesson, we're going to be talking about not so much how to play an instrument, but another topic that's super important and something I think a lot of you will be interested in, and that is how to tell the difference between different styles of world drumming. You know, I do a lot of teaching all over the United States and all over the world, actually, and what I've come to realize is that a lot of the world drumming that happens is not that recognizable to a lot of people in terms of the regions it comes from. What I mean is a lot of people don't know the difference between drumming from Brazil or drumming from the Caribbean or West African drumming or drumming from Arab nations. It all sort of sounds the same and mixes together for them. So in this lesson, we're going to look at how to tell the difference between Caribbean drumming, West African drumming, Brazilian drumming, and Arab drumming. And there are many more styles of drumming, of course, but we're going to just tackle these four. So I hope this is of interest to you guys. As always, if you're not a member of World Drum Club, please become a patron by visiting patreon.com/Kalani and join for very little amount of support. It's just like leaving a tip for something that you get for free. So I appreciate that. And now let's move on and get into the lesson. So the first example I have for you guys is Afro-Cuban drumming or Caribbean style drumming. And this will be some rumba from Cuba. So give this a listen. And as with all Afro-Cuban music, or most Afro-Cuban music, you'll hear instruments like the clave, the conga drums, maybe a rattle or some kind of scraper like the güiro or maracas. You'll hear those. Those will be telltale signs that music is from the Caribbean. In a future video, we might break that down a little more and get into it a little bit more. But that's your example of rumba from the Caribbean. And now let's listen to some Brazilian drumming. Okay, so that was a samba batucada, and the samba rhythms, of course, have their own instruments. Usually you hear instruments like the tamborim, the repenique, the ganza or shaker, the agogo, the two-tone bell, and of course the bass drums, the surdo, and maybe the snare drums, the caixa. So as you become familiar with world drumming, you'll learn to recognize those instruments and place them in the right region. Okay, let's move on and let's listen to something from West Africa. So this is a very different sound than the other two, and you'll hear instruments from, there's lots of different instruments from West Africa, but some of the ones that we are most familiar with, at least in the US, are the djembe drums, and of course the bass drums that provide the foundation of those rhythms, which are called the dun-dun drums, not junjuns. You'll hear bells, you'll hear rattles, you'll hear singing and other instruments as well, including the balafon, which is the ancestor of the xylophone. Okay, so we're going to finish this off with a little musical example of some Arab drumming. So give this one a listen. Okay, so in this last example, we have instruments like the zils, the finger cymbals. We have the darbuka, or what is commonly called the doumbek. And we also have instruments like the rik, the tambourine. And those are just a few of the common instruments that you would hear in Arab, or what we call Middle Eastern music. Okay, so those are a few examples of different styles of world drumming. You know, this area of world drumming is such a huge topic. It's a gigantic category of music, and it is really exciting. It's also, I know it can be a little bit daunting, but I hope this helps you guys get a little bit of a feel for the different styles and the different instruments, so you can tell what they are when you hear them. And more importantly, you'll know what to look for if you want to study music. You know, I ask people who are into drumming, who are your favorite drummers? Or who are your favorite drumming groups? And sometimes people are into drumming, but maybe they just came into drumming through like a drum circle or through classroom activities where the drumming was there to accompany singing or dancing, for example. But they haven't really gotten into world drumming as an art form, as a tradition. And so they really don't know any drummers, or they don't know any groups. And if you think about it, to study something like art or sports or science or anything, you'd want to know who the people are that were developing this art or craft or area of study over the last hundreds of years. And of course you want to know who they are also so you can enjoy the music. You might have some favorites, you know, as you start to investigate. So what I would recommend for you, if you can't really think of any favorite bands or drummers or groups associated with world drumming, is start to listen, start to become a student of world drumming and investigate. You know, ask a percussionist. We're here to help you guys so that we can move beyond and deepen our understanding of world drumming. It's such a wonderful topic, a whole world of music waiting for you to be discovered. All right, I hope this helps you guys. If it does, give it a thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and become a patron of World Drum Club. I'm Kalani, and you can reach me through the Patreon site at patreon.com/Kalani. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a future video.